Hi everyone, this is All Things Lymph, and I wanted to correct something that I said on the video that I did yesterday on the ivermectin and the cytokine testing. I told you to go to the FLCCC website for the cytokine testing, and it is actually on the covidlonghauler.com website, and that's Dr. Bruce Patterson. He's the one that was on the video that I did about 3 videos ago, I guess. He's the one that was interviewed by Dr. Saeed, and he's on his website, covidlonghauler.com. He has the cytokine testing. So I showed you this email that I had gotten when I registered for the cytokine testing, and how much it cost and everything. And then I told you to go to FLCCC. However, it is on this website here. It's called covidlonghaulers.com, and you can see right here down at the bottom of the website that you can register for the lab testing right here. So, and then they also have registering for telemedicine. But if you click on the register for lab testing, then you can just fill out this form. That's all I did. I filled out a form, and then they contact you. They'll email you and see if you want to go ahead with the lab testing for the cytokine testing. So anyway, that's where you need to go, and I did put that in the description box of the video yesterday. I did a little correction in the description box where I told everybody it's covidlonghaulers.com is where you get the cytokine testing, but it is FLCCC if you want to go there and access the directory of doctors that do the telemedicine for the ivermectin. So it's FLCCC for the ivermectin, and it is covidlonghaulers.com for the lab testing. So I just want to make sure I cleared that up. Okay, so I think for today, what I'm going to show you guys also is I want to make sure that I give you guys some visuals. Probably about, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks ago, I bought a couple of posters that have all the lymph system on there, and it shows also the direction that the lymph fluid flows through your lymph system. So I wanted to make sure that you guys get some of those visuals. So I did take some pictures of the different parts on the poster so that I could just show you in a slideshow. And let me just put this full screen for you. Okay, so the first thing here is the lymph organs or lymphoid organs. And so this picture here, it shows you that we have the thymus, we have the tonsils, we have the adenoids, what the lymph nodes are, the appendix, you have your bone marrow, the Peyer's patches that are in the small intestine, those are also lymph nodes, or lymph organ, I guess, your spleen. And the one thing that they don't show on here is the liver, which I don't really know why that is not on this chart. I tried to get the best charts I could, but a lot of the anatomical charts, it just really depends on the maker and what it is they're trying to display, but it's very difficult to find one with everything. So these I bought off of Amazon, and actually, let me get the posters here. They are made by, they're from anatomyposters.com. That's one of them. And then let me grab the other one real quick here. The other poster is going to be from Anatomic, I guess it's Rudger Anatomy. So, anyway, that's both of those posters. That's where they come from. That's where these pictures come from. So I want you to be able to get a visual of what the lymph system is and what it looks like. So, but just remember the liver is part of that, even though it does not show that on this. The liver would be over here on the right side of the body. So, okay, so let's go to the next picture. And then we've got lymphatic drainage of the abdominal and pelvic organs. This here, they said 2/3 of our lymph nodes are in our abdominal and pelvic area. So you can see there's a lot of lymph nodes here. It's all of the green dots, all the green circles. Those are lymph nodes. Whether they're main ones or auxiliary ones, doesn't really matter. There's a lot there. You have them right in here in the pelvic area too, right in here. You've got them, you can kind of see them right back in here, coming down on the, well, I guess this is back here on the back part, kind of the spinal area here, where it kind of comes around. So you want to kind of take note of where these are at. It really helped me a lot when it came time for me to do the brushing, the dry brushing, and the lymph massage. If you kind of know where they're at in your body or on your body, so that you can do well at the massage. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but for me, it just gives me a better visual if I can actually see, oh, well, there's a cluster of lymph nodes here, or wherever it is on my body where I've got a lot of pain. So but you can see why in long haul COVID, if you had spiked proteins in these areas here in this part of your lymph system, you can understand why your abdominal region would hurt so badly. So that gives a great visual for that. And then we're going to move on here. This is one where they're showing the upper body. This one I found is a little bit harder to see on this one, but it's diagramming all the lymph nodes. So when it says LN, that's lymph node. So it's showing you all of the ones that you have. So everywhere where one of these is pointing, those are all lymph nodes. So we've got a lot of them. So you can understand when you have congestion in there, when you have chronic inflammation from long haul COVID, you are going to be hurting. Think about this for a second. If your throat was sore, you had tonsillitis, or you had strep throat, think about how much your throat hurts when your tonsils and your adenoids are swollen, and other lymph nodes where, see, there's lots of them here, they're pointing to them. Those lymph nodes also become a little bit swollen when you have sore throat. But the main ones that most everybody knows about are the tonsils and the adenoids, from having sore throats and things when we're kids and even as adults. But we don't ever really think about how many other ones there are. So long haul COVID has really, I think, brought that out in to my mind as something that I really was not that aware of. I didn't know much about the lymph system. They don't really teach it that much in the school. As far as in college goes, in my anatomy and physiology classes for speech pathology, the lymph system is not really taught that much. So, and I know even medical doctors, they don't know that much about it. So, okay, so this is really, I think this is a good diagram as far as showing how many there are and why it is with long haulers. If you've got those spiked proteins caught in all these places, you can understand why you have pain everywhere. There's lymph nodes right along here. I had a lot of pain all in this left side of my body, going down in here. So you can see why all of these lymph nodes and the ones right here in the collarbones were all swollen. Now let's go to another one, because a little bit later on in the picture you'll be able to see better for the collarbones and the breast and armpit and chest area. Now this is showing how we have lymph nodes here on our knees, and more information in here inside of our abdominal area and the pelvic area, as well as the underside of our arms, our hands. So you can understand when these things are swollen up, why you have nerve problems, why you have muscle pain, why you have bone pain. Because again, remember, one of the organs is bone marrow. So let's go on to the next one. Here is a clearer picture. They've kind of taken away, they're just showing it from basically on the outside of the body. But remember, your lymph nodes are under your skin. so that's pretty close to the surface, as is your cardiovascular system. And you can see right here on this whole thing on my body was completely, the back of my neck was swollen up. All of this was in nothing but pain. You can see all the lymph nodes here. If this is all blocked up, you can understand why you'd have so much pain there. The low back pain, people have low back pain. They have it radiating out here. I have all of that. I had all of that. I'm still working on the low back pain. I'm still working on the left side here and right in here, trying to get rid of the rest of that. But I thought this was an interesting picture. And then look at the back of your knees. You have a cluster of the lymph nodes here. So if these are swollen because of chronic inflammation, you're going to have a hard time moving your joints, your knee joints. You're going to have a hard time moving your elbows. We have them. There are ones at the elbow. They're not showing it in this picture, but there are. So you can understand why your joints would hurt. Here's on a male lymph, the little brown bean looking circles here. Those are your lymph nodes. So they're showing how in the chest area here, coming down the abdominal area, all along here, you have lymph nodes. And then all along, look at all of the clusters in here next to the breast area and the armpits. It's so many. So you can understand why you would be in pain. Look at along the jawline here. Look at down your neck. Right down here into the clavicles. All of this here was swollen on me. I'm sure a lot of you have pain in these areas here, the lymph nodes here, and these are main drainage areas, which you're going to see in the pictures coming up. So that's an interesting one. And then I just took of the network of the lymph system coming down into the hands, how much you have there. That's why our hands can get swollen up. Your feet and ankles comes down here. So it's head to toe. You have lymph system. This is the back of the body, and you have some main nodes here or some auxiliary nodes here, and where things drain in there. And you've got them. They're showing them here, underneath the scapulas too, along here, along the sacral area, and this right here on the left side of my body. I've got pain in that identical, I know this is showing on the right, but I've got it right here. And then it radiates out here, and then I have it on the hip here, and then I have some a little bit right here. So that's what I have left that I'm working on. But all of this, I got all of this other stuff to drain by the end of the 3rd week of my treatment. So, and then again, they're showing the clusters of the lymph nodes just above the knee and behind the knees here. And then we're going to go on here. This is showing the main lymphatics of your head and neck with auxiliary lymph nodes too. So along your ears, that's why you want to massage all this area right in here, and you brush all this, brush back here. You've got a whole cluster of lymph nodes here, and you want to keep those drained. That's what the dry brushing is doing. It's draining all this. It's moving it. It's moving it so that things do not get clogged up inside these lymph nodes. And then you want to do your scalp. And like I said, you can do that with your fingertips, because a lot of times the brush doesn't go through the hair if you have thicker hair. And then looking at them all along the jaw lines, I had pain all over here, all this, all around here, down the front of my neck, into here. This was all painful. All of this on the front, this here, in the breast area, the lymph nodes here, all around there. On females, there are more lymph nodes of what they're showing here. The thing that I want you to keep in mind also with this one is that they're showing you the ones on the outside on the scalp. They're not showing you the ones that are inside, underneath your skull, inside your the covering around your brain, inside the skull. So like I said, that's a relatively new discovery. I couldn't find any anatomical charts that showed that. So I don't know if they have any made yet. But it is inside there as well. And that's why you really have to concentrate on massaging the base of the skull, because you want it inside the skull. You want all of that to drain. You want that to get unclogged. You want all of this to be free so that everything can drain out of the brain appropriately, so that you don't have, you can get rid of the brain fog, you can get rid of the headaches, the brain pressure. So let's go on to the next one. This one here shows a lymph node with the blood capillaries, lymphatic vessels, and how these are all intertwined, how the cardiovascular system with your arteries and your veins intertwines, and they all connect up and they work together with the lymph system and the lymph nodes. So your lymph system is clearing out the bad stuff out of your blood and returning good stuff to your blood. So that's what this is showing here, or at least showing you the parts for it. And then again, you've got the tissues, your tissue cells, and then your lymphatic capillaries, your blood capillaries here, and lymphatic vessel here, and then it shows them down here in the bottom coming in. So it's all intertwined. They work in tandem. They work together. And so that's why I believe the lymph system can be clogged too. I know the doctors don't say that, but the lymphatic system is not on their radar as far as treating the lymphatic system to clear it out. I couldn't find medical things really that it's just something that's not part of their system. They treat disease, and it's unfortunate, but that's a blind spot in the medical community that really needs to be brought to the forefront. Because if we have a good operating lymph and immune system, we can clean our blood of all of the virus. We can clean it of the spiked proteins. So, and then again, there's another one kind of showing close-ups of how the lymph is attached. There's filaments here, and it attaches onto your tissue cells. And so really this is supposed to be cleaning the spiked proteins out. But again, I believe those spiked proteins actually clog up the lymph tissue as well. So that's a good visual on that. Okay, and then this is the head and neck. These are going to be the pictures now starting that shows the drainage, the direction that your lymph moves through your body. So around your eyes and down and into this lymph node. Then down here and into this lymph node. Then down here and into the clavicles. So those of us who had these swollen up and had all of this pain and blockage and the arm pain and the chest pain and what have you, the neck pain, even the lymph nodes here from the base of the skull, they come around, they drain here. Look at all of this drainage goes into these. That's why they hurt so bad and they get clogged up. And then you've got some smaller ones here. So not only is this, I mean, I had fluid pockets all over this. But you can see how you need to massage these areas. There are lymph nodes here. They don't show them in this picture, but I've seen them on other diagrams. And so you want to massage down with your fingertips, just gently. You don't do this hard. It's just very gently. Do them on your head too here, where we saw in those other diagrams. There's lymph nodes up here on the scapula or the scalp, and so you can massage that all down, and it goes down here. Honestly, I don't worry so much about the direction, just because as long as you get it moving, it doesn't really matter. It's going to go where it's supposed to go anyway. You don't have to be very specific on how you're moving it. I know lymphologists would probably say something different, or people who are specialists in the lymph massage, but just start massaging. You don't have to be perfect, and as long as you're helping it to move, it'll move. Okay, so let's go to the next one. This one here, these here will come around the front into your clavicles, but all this drains here, and this will drain up here, this will drain up here. So see, all your lymph fluid, it has to defy gravity and go up here. It does not have a pump. So your muscles move your lymph fluid, and if we're sick and we can't move around very much and we can't exercise, we're not moving our muscles, so this is going to get stagnant. It's not moving like it should. It's moving, but it's not moving in the quantities it should. And with the spike protein stuck in our body, it's just going to move around or kind of get stagnant. So, and then this here, your back drains into the front. As you can see, it all drains here. This here will drain down in here. And then your legs come around the front. It's kind of amazing how this stuff can move, because the obstacles has got to go around and over, and then things go up. So your legs, they drain up. That's why a lot of times your legs or ankles will swell up when you ride in the car for a long time, because that fluid's here. You're not moving around to pump it back up. So that's the dry brushing. The dry brushing takes the place of the moving around, because if you're sick, if you have cardiovascular issues, you cannot move around. If you don't walk, if you're in a wheelchair, you got to be able to move all this, because that's what's going to keep cleaning out your blood, cleaning out the blood, cleaning out the blood. Okay, let's go to the next one here. Well, let me see here. I'm going to go back one because I think I skipped one. Let's go to this one. Okay, so this is the arm. So you brush your hand from hand all the way up here, brush in that direction, come up here to the armpits, and brush towards the clavicles so that you can get that drained, or get it moving. I always call it drain, but okay. And then this is the other side. You're moving the hand and going up here like this. You're moving this down off the shoulder. But then anything up here in this area, you're moving it. This is the back of the person, so you're moving it forward to the clavicles. Okay, and then here's a close-up of the hand, and you're going down. Or I should say up towards the shoulder area, towards the elbow. And then your feet, same thing. You're brushing around from the bottom and around from the top to the sides, and it goes up. And you have lymph nodes back here. A lot of people complain. My mom had that, where the back of her ankles and her heels and stuff would hurt during long haul COVID, and this is probably why. I mean, probably one of the culprits, that all this was swollen and partially blocked up. And then again, the feet coming around, going up, and then the toes going up towards the legs here, and you can see how this all goes around, and it goes clear up here to this one on the upper leg. My colleague, she had fluid pockets raised up here on her legs, both legs. She had them over her liver and other lymph node and lymph organ areas. So it's not just the lymph nodes you're clearing out, you're clearing your organs as well. And then, of course, the bottom of the feet, how you go around to the front and come around, and then come around the heels here. So, okay, well, that is pretty much it for all of the pictures, I guess, that I have of the anatomy for the lymph system. And I just wanted to make sure you guys really have a good visual of that, because it does really help. And it's also a good way to, if you reference these pictures, you can see, okay, does my leg hurt back here on the lymph nodes on the back of my leg? Are there lymph nodes there? And, you know, it helps you to pinpoint where you really need to work at, as far as, you know, what's really sore. Some of mine were in certain areas, and some weren't as sore. So you're going to target those ones that are more sore, because likely they need the lymph fluid draining and moving. So anyway, I hope this helps. Again, sorry for the correction that I had to make, but I did misspeak on the website for the covidlonghaulers.com. That's the one you want to go to for the testing. Okay, so I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.